nice. Very nice.
Guinness cans are always weird when they open, but then I suppose that makes sense because it's a nitrogenated beer.
Right.
I don't words good, folks.
No, obviously. Well, guys, happy St. Patrick's Day. How's everybody doing? I see that I was trying to figure out something funny to say, and then I couldn't figure it out, so I just went with what it was. But halfway through, I'm like, whatever.
I thought you were gonna say Happy Thanksgiving. It's like the wrong date.
Yeah, so that's where my brain was going. Not Thanksgiving personally, but I was gonna say a different holiday because that's what I do. For those that don't know, and I think I've said this over here before, every time I text my brother on his birthday, I say a different holiday. I never say happy birthday. And then on the holidays, I tell him happy birthday. Every single holiday.
I was about to say, is that accidental or is that on purpose?
No, it's on purpose. I know his birthday. But it all started one year because I forgot and I texted him the next day. So now what I do is, if I do tell him happy birthday, it'll be either a week before or a week after, or on a different holiday. And if I do text him on his birthday, I do say a different holiday. It's been 10 years since I've been doing this. It never fails. So one year I texted him on our dad's birthday. He's like, it's not my birthday. I was like, yes, it is. Goodbye. So I told no, and not only that, but I told him yes, it is, and I blocked him so he couldn't respond. And the next day I unblocked him. I was like, did you try to text me back? I was like, yeah, what happened? I blocked you. So he had me blocked for a week.
Oh. Hey, turnabout's fair play, man.
Hey, listen, I wasn't mad. I was just hoping he didn't need my help.
Oh, shit.
But I digress. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 trailer dropped. There's a brand new one, and it's kind of very different from what Disney Plus or Disney does for their own stuff, because the theme song on that is Without Me from Eminem. And I never thought that I would see the day that Disney would use Eminem on a trailer.
My opinion, could have done without it, but who cares?
Yeah, well,
I disagree. It's a spicy show. Let's give it spicy music.
Right. It's the whole point of I try to be away, but apparently this can't be done without me. That's which fits perfect to me.
Yeah.
Because he tried. You had Matt Murdock trying to do it without Daredevil, and apparently it didn't work. So
yeah.
But we did see in the trailer, and I think we saw it on the last one too, that Jessica Jones is coming back.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's exciting. Also, they're saying that Luke Cage and Iron Fist are going to be there. Maybe not towards like throughout the season, but they're going to be shown maybe at the end. And that's going to be the next arc for season 3. Because there's also theories that some characters from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are going to make an appearance towards the end of the season. Regardless if it's a cameo or not. They say that that's what's going to happen because they want to bring some characters back for season 3. So that's exciting.
Very exciting.
I know. I was like, what?
Very exciting. I wonder who it is. I'm also glad that he's getting like
I hope it's
vigilante
Quake.
buddies.
You what?
I'm excited to see him get like vigilante buddies.
Yeah. Batman.
We'll get that DC Marvel crossover one of these days.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be fun. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to season 2 of Daredevil because I want to. Obviously, I was waiting to see what was happening in season 1, and then I thought that they were gonna do the whole story in one season, but I'm glad they didn't. So also because I didn't want it to feel forced. I feel like if they would have done the whole thing in one take or one season, it would have felt forced.
Fair.
And I think to me, that's why I kind of felt like a little let down with the timing and the pacing of the show, because I thought they were gonna do slowly, very slow, how they always been doing, very slow, and all of a sudden the last 3 episodes, it's boom, a lot of information, cramming everything together, and then it feels weird. So at first when I was watching it, when it was happening, I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be one of those. But then when I see that they're not finishing it and they left us on a cliffhanger, I was like, okay, good. It didn't feel too rushed. It felt like an old school show. They gave us a lot of information throughout the first season to give us the finale in one season. I don't know if you guys felt that way, but that's how I felt about it.
Well, I mean, it makes sense that the pacing was kind of weird through season 1, especially with the first half, considering that they basically fired the previous showrunner and brought in somebody new, and then they had to change things up. And so, yeah, it did kind of, the pacing did seem kind of weird, but seemed to even out, I think, towards the latter half of the first season. And then, of course, knowing that, I mean, they pretty much they confirmed that there was going to be a second season because they filmed the first 2 seasons back to back.
Right. But I didn't know if it was going to be the same story, because sometimes they'll do 2 seasons and it's 2 different things. And I'm like, oh, great. Now we're going to have very, very like a lot of unanswered questions. So,
well, fortunately, that won't be the case considering how season 1 ended. So,
right. I hope. And it seems, and I hope that this season, because the first season in the trailers, they gave us a lot of action. And the first season kind of lacked that. So in this trailer, we are getting a lot of action again. But I feel like that's all the action we're going to get in all 8 episodes.
Possibly, but you never know.
Yeah. So we'll see. I think that I'm hoping for the best, expecting the worst, I guess.
Well,
which is what you got to do with Disney shows.
Yeah, I'm setting my expectations very low considering recent Disney shows, especially season 1 of this, because I wasn't really as enthused about season 1 as some other people, you know. But it is what it is.
On a different note, Lola, you didn't add anybody new to MegaCon, so you're good. You don't have to go on another rant on MegaCon. If you don't know what I'm talking about, guys, go back to the video previous to this one, and you will understand what I'm talking about. They haven't added anybody.
That's fair. Real quick, going back to Daredevil.
Yeah.
It would be Quake. I was reading about it while you guys were talking about it. Apparently they went to the same orphanage.
Quake and Daredevil, or Matt Murdock?
They went to Matt Murdock. They went to Saint Agnes Orphanage. They were a couple years apart, but they were most likely there at the same time.
Okay.
So it's possible. It'd be also cool to start seeing what are they called? Not the
Inhumans?
mutants. The Inhumans, yeah. In this MCU.
And I think that's why they're gonna use, if they use her, I think that's why they would.
I hope so.
Because they probably want to explain where the Inhumans come from. I still am trying to figure out what are they gonna do when they introduce the X-Men, and where were the mutants this whole time. There's a lot of theories out there. I'm still gonna go with the original one. I think they're gonna come from a different universe, and all universes are gonna collide, and they're all gonna be one universe prime, and then they're all gonna coexist. Right. It's just I think that's it's more of a, not Flashpoint, but Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
So, and to be fair, would it be lazy? Yes, but also it wouldn't feel forced, because they're gonna be like, oh no, what we didn't show you is that we were just showing you the side of the Avengers, but the X-Men or the mutants were actually fighting in the background. We just didn't show you them. All the news about the mutants and all that, we didn't show it in the movies, but they were there happening at the same time. Don't do that.
I kind of feel like that would be the case for like the Inhumans for a couple of reasons, but for the mutants, it's definitely they're in a different Earth, just from what we saw in Doctor Strange. In a different universe, just from what we saw in Doctor Strange. The Inhumans, honestly, if it has to go through Terrigenesis, which it seems like that's the case, it could have just happened in any of the fights that they've had, the massive fights that they had, where they just disrupted something that released something. That's literally what it is it's you inhale the Terrigen. Or what's it called? There's another one on there, but like the Thanos thing and the insurgents, it might be one of those situations. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of ways that they can bring that in without having to make it like lazy writing. It's more so it's been happening in the background but unknown, because people are still like getting back from the blip, essentially.
Right. I think
they're so preoccupied with putting everybody back where they belong that all the shit happening in the background is just background noise, essentially.
Right. And so this I haven't heard, it just popped in my head. Someone else could have thought about this too, but it could be when Steve Rogers went back in time to return all of the stones. We do remember that he goes back to the time of World War II. And who was there? Yeah, Magneto and Xavier and Mystique. So at least those three, maybe he changed something along the way that create a chain reaction where them, like their powers were awakened or created. Which is, it's a possibility, but at the same time, I mean, we all know that in history of like time traveling, one little thing, the butterfly effect, one little thing can change the outcome of the entire world. So that's why I think that, but at the same time, I don't know. It's just now they have made this so confusing that I don't even want to put my energy trying to figure it out. I just want to see what they're doing. That's it. Just
they got to take great care and just not turn it into just a massive mess or just something that's incredibly convoluted.
Which the problem is, it's already there.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not that they added too much at the same time and they couldn't figure it out, because all of this has been written in comic books. So now they just have to pick here's the difference is also that in the comic books, we didn't have the issue where Marvel brought in new characters or old characters and meshed it with new characters. They were all created by the same company. So in the comic books, they coexist already. They just show up here and there and whatever. But when the movies, now you have 15 years of movies that they haven't been mentioned. So it's kind of weird because they couldn't mention them because they didn't own the rights. It's not that they didn't want to. They just didn't own the rights. I think that if they, and I don't know how all this works, the copyrights and all this, but instead of having, I bet that it was cheaper, instead of having a character, it would have been cheaper to at least borrow the name for a movie and mention the name. So that way they exist. You know what I mean? So now when they bring him in, because back then we didn't know that Marvel was or Disney was going to buy 20th Century Fox. So I think that, maybe they'll have a crossover. That's cool. So it's in the works. But now they have never been mentioned. So it's like, it's messy.
The best you could do is maybe hint at a specific character, even if you didn't have the rights to it, because you couldn't outright name the character, not even. Right. Because, the whole copyright situation and what have you. So, and then plus, I think and there are other characters that, Marvel still owns. They don't mention, probably because they don't really care that much about that particular character. There are some lesser characters that they probably they don't feel they need to waste time on. Which, right. I mean, I don't know.
And the only reason I say that, at least mention the name, and I'm sure there's a loophole or a way, not a loophole, but a way that you can pay to at least put the name in the movie, because there's tons of movies that reference other movies that are not even from the same studio. There's been a bunch of movies that say, "Oh, what do you think? You're Yoda?" So they're referencing a movie. It's not like they exist in the same universe, because the movie Burnt with Bradley Cooper, he's a chef. There's one of the scenes where he asks one of this cook that he's recruiting if he can stay in his house, but then one day he's like cooking at his house, and the cook and his girlfriend are in the room, and she says, "He's scary. Like, who is he?" Because she doesn't know. She doesn't live in this chef world. She doesn't know his name. So he says, Alec Guinness, whatever character that is. And his words, not mine, by the way. It's a quote from the movie. And he says, you know him, so there's a 1-star is Alec Guinness, a 2-star is Yoda. And she says, what if he's Darth Vader? So in a completely like separate movie that has nothing to do with Star Wars, they mention their names. So that's why I'm getting at. It's like, maybe they could have just mentioned a name, and one name could have avoided a lot of messiness. Because now, if they would have mentioned Charles Xavier, the head of the X-Men is there. Because now they can't say that the all this stuff that happened created the mutants, because Xavier obviously was in like the events of Endgame. They can't say that this created the mutants because Xavier was in the 40s. So something that happened in 2023, which is the timeline, it started something in the 40s.
Is Deadpool part of the sacred timeline? No, right?
No, because Wolverine is. Because that's
Part
what
of the
they
sacred
said.
timeline?
Mm-hmm. They mention the sacred timeline, and Wolverine has something to do with it.
So the Logan that's dead in the beginning of the second Deadpool movie is part of the sacred timeline.
No, I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Okay.
I think they mention it, but now thinking about it, I don't think it has anything to do with it.
Okay, because I was going to say Xavier's part of the Deadpool world universe.
Xavier is in the Deadpool universe. There were the X-Men, but the X-Men movies that we saw, which is the last one, it's Logan. That one is from a different universe of Deadpool. Or was he in the same one?
Pretty sure it's the same one because it was all Fox well before Disney even thought about it.
No, yes. In the timeline, I mean.
Well, the X-Men are literally in the Deadpool movie. The first one. So Xavier, Storm, Cyclops.
Yeah, because they do make a cameo also.
They do make a cameo
second
also.
one.
So, but also Deadpool's part of the MCU. So are they technically part of the MCU already?
No, because in Deadpool and Wolverine, in the beginning, he's in a different timeline. And then he decides to go back to his timeline. Because he wants to be part of the Avengers. And then they don't want him, so he goes back. Does that make sense?
In Deadpool 1?
No.
Mm-mm.
In Deadpool and Wolverine. Remember he has the interview with Happy in the beginning?
Yeah.
He's in a different timeline. And then he goes back because the Avengers don't want him. He goes back to his own timeline.
Yeah.
So they're not in the same timeline. For Deadpool to meet Happy and the Avengers, he had to leave his own universe.
Right. So are we talking about timelines or are we talking about universes?
Same thing.
Same thing when it comes to the MCU.
When you travel through time, technically you're going to a different universe.
Because they all have different branches.
Yep.
If you remember the Loki show, when they talk about how there's different branches of time, those are the universes. Everything is separate. Everything is acting at the same time, but in different times periodically. That is, you have the sacred timeline, which is one universe, and then you have the other branches, which are different
Right, but those
universes.
are timelines, not universes. They're not equivalent to each other.
Well, can you tell that to the MCU? Because I understand where you're coming from.
They've completely fucked this up as far as I'm concerned.
Because sometimes here's the thing about the MCU. Sometimes they'll reference a character from a different universe, but then sometimes they'll reference a character from a different timeline, which if you think about it, it's two different things, but they're referencing the same thing. Not the same character itself.
So the way that I'm thinking about it is the way that the Sorcerer Supreme explains it in Endgame, is the fact that if you take out the stone from this time and take it to a different time, then it branches off, creating a new timeline, not a new universe, but just a new timeline, at the same time that the original one is happening. However, the way that Bruce Banner explains it to her is that if you were going to take the time stone and put it back in its time, then the timeline that branched off would eliminate itself because you're putting everything back in place. So that creates different timelines, but not different universes. A different universe would be like Fantastic Four, where it's entirely different from the sacred timeline versus the other timelines, where you might make a different decision, as opposed to like this person might have never existed. Does that make more sense?
No, it made sense.
It seems similar, but it's not.
No, and I like I said, I understand what you're saying. I understand that universes and timelines are two different things. But the problem with the MCU is that sometimes they'll talk about both like if they're the same thing. That's how messy they've made it.
See, the reason why I'm not understanding that is because that's not what I've seen. Just like in the Spider-Man movie.
Homecoming?
Those are different universes. Not different timelines.
Which Spider-Man movie?
Far From Home. Where you have the 3 different Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because they all come from different universes.
Oh,
they
you
all
mean
come from different universes.
No Way Home.
Yeah.
They're all different
They're
homes.
similar,
Yeah.
but not quite the same thing. So I feel like the way they've explained it and the way that I've understood and experienced it is entirely different from having multiple timelines.
No, and yes.
But at the same time, different universes can also have multiple timelines, and they're trying terribly to mesh all that together, which is where a lot of the confusion and disappointment and anger with the current MCU comes from.
Like, before this whole mess that they've created, I was able to explain timelines and universes better. But now I'm like I said earlier, I don't want to try to figure anything out because I just want them to go their route. Because if I try to think of a better way, I'm going to be pissed off because they went one way that I'm like, oh, that's stupid. It's like the whole theory with Stranger Things. Like, all of these theories that people came up with after, they were so good that if they would have written that and be part of the show would have been even greater than it was. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it would have taken a whole new level. But when they didn't, I was disappointed. I was like, man, it was a great show, but it needed that. You know what I mean? The MCU needs the fans to write it. You know what I mean?
Not necessarily the fans to write it, just better people than they have.
The problem is, where do they find these people? Because they keep firing and hiring, and where are they hiring these people?
To be honest, I couldn't even tell you. It basically just, it's almost like they're hiring similar people to the ones that they got rid of in the first place. It's like trying the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
No, that's
Why are they
drawing
not?
into
Why are
the
they
realm
not
of
hiring
insanity
like comic book writers?
because they fucking hate the comic books.
Right, but I understand what you're saying.
They don't give a shit about the comic books. They
Yeah,
don't.
they don't.
They
They
really
don't give a shit
give a
about the
fuck
fans
about
either.
right. Which is why people aren't watching. Which is why people aren't watching the shows, and people are just turning away from the movies now as well. Like there's very little. There's very little hope from not just the comic book fans, but from a lot of the general audience as well. Especially for Doomsday. And that's one that they need to succeed. And I'm hearing rumblings that it could very well be the first $1 billion flop. Like it could make $1 billion at the box office and still fail, considering how much money they've spent producing this movie thus far. And a lot of it just bringing back some of the bigger named actors that have been in the MCU before.
Mm-hmm.
Getting Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. back was not cheap.
Just those two
was not cheap.
Yeah.
So you're looking at, and that's probably not even including the marketing that they're going to have to wind up doing as well. That's another pretty massive chunk of change that they're gonna have to deal with. So you're looking at, and considering your theater take over the course of its run in theaters, you're talking 2.5 times what you spent in your total budget just to try to break even. Good luck, considering the general apathy towards Marvel at this point.
Yeah. Hopefully they go all out and the Russo brothers try to hold it together.
We'll see.
I was just telling Sarah that when did Endgame come out? 2019?
I think so.
So it'd be 6-7 years since the last Avengers movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it has been the longest run between Avengers movies. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I just think that they need to figure out their shit. They need to put all their eggs in one basket. And because if this one flops, Secret Wars might not even come out.
Well, at this point, I think they're too deep into it to not release Secret Wars. But to be honest, if they may, I mean, because contracts and all that stuff, it's. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. It's hard to gauge what's going to happen. I don't know. Justin, how's your computer doing?
For the most part, good. The occasional hard crash, notwithstanding.
Is it when you're playing a game, or is it just?
It could be at any point. I don't even have to be playing a game.
It could be right now.
I mean, that's actually happened before.
Yeah.
Yep. The whole thing just locks up, and I'm sitting here talking, and you guys would be frozen, and I have no idea what the hell's going on, and then then I have to completely restart the whole thing.
Shit.
Yeah.
But you think you figure it out, right? It's the power supply.
Pretty much. I mean, I've had this particular power supply. It's an EVGA, I think 1,000-watt power supply. And I think the efficiency of that power supply has gotten to the point where it's not consistently providing enough power to everything that I am running on this computer. And so, unfortunately, that tends to lead to the problem that I'm having. But it is what it is.
T's for T's.
Yep, pretty much. Gonna have to start putting money towards getting a new power supply, which is gonna be interesting because I want one that's gonna last, but I don't want to spend a ton of money. But that's the balance there. That's very, very difficult considering PC components pricing is going way, way the fuck up.
Right. On a different note, I downloaded an emulator on my phone because it's a Game Boy Advance emulator. And was because I saw a video on TikTok of this, and I'm sure it's been out for a while, but Yellow Recharged. Have you ever heard of it? Pokemon
No.
Yellow Recharged. So
sounds like a ROM hack of one of the OG games.
Yeah. So what they did was they used the Emerald game as a base, but they redid the Yellow game version. So a little bit better graphics. They made it that you can actually catch all 151 Pokemon in this game before the Elite Four.
Interesting.
And you remember that beautiful theory that we all believed, that if you went to get in the San Ann cruise ship, and instead of getting on it, you
with the truck
with the truck, and Mew was never there, even though that's what everyone believed. He put it in the game, so that truck actually has Mew.
Okay.
So I started playing it, and it's the yellow version, but you can have Pokemon hold items. There's berries in the items. So it's like a better version of the yellow version.
Gotcha. So they based it on what they did with Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Right. Correct. So, but for you to be able to play this game, you have to download Emerald, and you have to download the hack, and then you have to, there's this website that patches games. So you have to upload on there, or choose the file of Emerald and then the hack file as a patch, and then it saves it together, and then you're able to play it. So I've been playing yellow version for a minute now, and it's fun on this. Like, it was already fun, but now it's like 3 levels above.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I've been messing about with Fire Red on emulators ever since the whole Switch 2 Fire Red Leaf Green came out. I'm gonna play that again, just not on the Switch 2.
Right. I just realized the dog is like laying on the couch like this.
That's how Beefy sleeps.
So cute. Let me see. Apparently, I don't know how to use a phone. I got to that point.
Get with the times, old man.
Yeah, I guess so.
Your age is showing.
You send it to me? Oh, okay. Why you hand me your phone? I'm gonna fight you, little girl. I promise.
Can I fight her instead?
Yeah, you can fight her, TT. TT wants to fight me.
Yes.
Say what you want to say. Oh, you don't know what you want to say? Don't say anything, man. She's just been on one today.
Is she too sassy for you?
She's extra sassy today.
I get it. We were just on vacation and I came back, or we came back today. And at the end of the day, I sat down with my supervisor and I was like, I hope you know that all I did today was eat carbs and be problematic. And she's like, I mean, sounds like a normal day for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is. And I love my job. I was telling Trey today, I love my job because I get to be problematic, but within my job description.
With
And
the
if you don't,
limitations.
well, the only limitations is literally this is
Don't
what I
cuss
do
out.
for, well, yeah. And don't be sassy, but I get to just be like, hey, we had this conversation on this date. Remember that? No?
Per
Well,
this
I told you not
email.
to do that, and you did it anyways. So I told you so, ho. You should have listened.
Those are the best. When you can say those things.
It's every single email I send out. It's literally, I told you. I told you so.
It's always good that you're able to say, I told you so at a job.
Yeah.
My favorite line is to say, well, now that you tried that, let's try it my way, how we were supposed to. Because I always, because every job that I've had, I as a manager, I like to let the employees, if they have ideas, I want you to execute your ideas. But I always let them know, all right, we're going to try your idea. If it doesn't work, then we'll go back to the original plan. And a lot of times when it doesn't work, I'm like, all right, now that you tried it, let's go back to the original idea.
Mm. That's what I do with my boss. I try to gentle parent him.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's out here. It's hard being out here, like trying to gentle parent your boss.
It's hard on the streets.
It's hard on the streets, man. He knows it too. I've been having the blessings, I guess, of like having like calling him in the morning and then bullying him with his wife is great.
It's always
It's
better
great.
when you bring in the partner in.
Well, he usually has me on speaker when she's around, and all you can hear is in the back. It's like, she screams at you too. See, I told you. And it's like, this makes it so much better.
Yeah.
Gives you validation.
Oh, absolutely.
Jesus Christ. Seriously. Every time we eat Waffle House, it should be the last thing I do for the day. Because earlier when we got home, it was like 6:45 and the couch was taken by two people that were in a coma also. So I just grabbed my chair and I pushed it almost all the way back. And I think I passed out for like 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, got it. I can't do that because I'm not going to be awake for the episode. I just put 2K on because I knew I was going to get angry at the game and my adrenaline was going to go up and it would wake me up. I was like, okay, let's go.
Well, I mean, worse things have happened. No big worries.
Yeah, no. 2K is running a St. Patrick's Day event today, which means they have these, whenever they have events, they have these pop-up stores on the city with specific like items that you can wear to get 2 times the rep when you're playing. And everything
Nice.
they have right now is like St. Patrick's Day themed. So everything you buy gives you 2 times. So I bought like a jersey for like 4,000 BC because they have some that are like they move, like they're animated.
Oh, there you go.
But those are 20,000 BC, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna buy something for 20,000 BC that I'm only gonna use for this event. Because don't get me wrong, I like green. I like the color green, but to me, it has to be this green, like close to the one that you're. Yeah, close or close to the one you're wearing, Justin. But they're bright green. Like a clover green. And I'm like, oh my God. And then the shoes that I have on are blue, and then the shooting sleeves that I have for an extra 25% on the other experience points that you get are red like flames, because that's what they have available for season 5. And then my hat is blue. I was like, I look like a fucking like idiot with all these colors on. Just to tame it down a little bit, I'm wearing black shorts. So just like, okay, if I wear the black shorts, someone will notice. Something matches. Because the shoes are black and blue. So I'm like,
yeah.
Well, you guys have anything else? I feel like we're scraping the bottom of the barrel now.
A little bit.
I'm over here talking about what I'm wearing on my 2K game, which is important for those people that play 2K. That's important.
Yeah.
Because here's how important it is. When you're checking out the other people's stats, you keep scrolling to see different things like the badges they have, the attributes they have. The last thing that you can click on is fit check to see what they're wearing. Is it stupid? 100%. Do I always look at what they're wearing before they go on there? 100%. Because I want to see what my teammates are wearing so I can get acclimated with who I'm going to pass the ball to.
Does that help make an educated decision on who you're going to pass the ball to?
Yes, 100%.
What outfit are they wearing?
It doesn't matter what they're wearing.
That shirt with those shoes, honey? No, I don't think so. I'm not passing the ball to you.
That's not what I meant.
I mean, it sounded just like it.
That's cool and all, and I'm glad that you got to that conclusion. But let's go back. Let's go back to what I was trying to say, to the original plan. And what I'm trying to say is that every time you play, you can be playing with a different teammate. But then the other team also has different clothing. So if every game is changing, I want to know who the fuck I'm going to be. It's not like we have uniforms. You have everybody that's wearing white. It's my team. No, it could be one of my teammates can be wearing a white shirt, and then they have a black hat. And then the other team has somebody that has a white shirt and a black hat. So I want to make sure that whoever's in front of me is not the other team. They're going to steal the ball from me. So.
But they're both wearing white shirts, black hats.
But one is my teammate and the other one is not. Does that make sense?
I can see how that would get confusing.
Because if I'm going to go for a layup or a dunk and my teammate's the one under the basket, that's not going to make a difference. But if it's the other guy that's sitting there, hit their presence, if I get too close to them when I'm dunking, it's going to change the shot. So I want to make sure I know who the hell is in front of me. That's it.
Makes sense. You would think that there would be some kind of like, I don't know, maybe like an aura or something around them to kind of differentiate between, ally and opponent. But
You would think.
yeah, you would think.
You would think. The only thing that it helps you is that either you pass with A, or you can click a button to show the icon of the person you actually want to pass to. Because if you pass with A, you have to do a directional pass. So if you want to pass to the guys over here, you got to make sure that the stick is pointing to where that person is or in the general direction before you hit A. If not, it's going to pass to the closest person to you.
Which could very well be somebody on the opposite team.
I'm glad that it doesn't work that way. The ball doesn't go to the next person. It goes directly to your teammate. But if the other guy is open, I want to make sure but that's the only way that you can tell who is who.
It seems kind of dumb to me, but
it just makes it difficult. It's like on Call of Duty. How many people have the same skins? And all of a sudden someone shows up in front of you really fast and it looks like your teammate, but it's somebody else. Or how many times have I shot you or you shot me by mistake because the guy that was just shooting at you had the same skin that I had?
This is true.
Yeah, even though there's icons on top that show you that that's your friend or your enemy.
Sometimes people don't pay attention to them.
Or sometimes I just shoot just because.
I was going to say, I do that. Or I usually end up shooting at the back of Trey's head because he has the I don't know how you say that in English, but like la dicha of just standing right in front of me as soon as I start shooting my gun. Every time.
He's good
Every
at
time.
it.
You know how many times he's died in like playing Gears from just me shooting him accidentally because I'm shooting at something and he's like, "Oh, what's this?"
I did that all the time on Killzone 2 back in the PS3 days when I would play hardcore matches. But I would do that purposely because you would get people blocking narrow hallways that are your teammates, and it's just like, get the hell out of my way, or I'm going to kill you.
I think one of the best things they created was friendly fire. Like, okay, I can't kill you, and the bullets will go straight through you. You know how many times I've had Yadi or another teammate right in front of me, and there's a guy behind him, and I just shoot through them all the time.
Well, I mean, it has its advantages. Your bullets go through your teammate and into the enemy without killing your teammate, then hey, that's pretty cool. But sometimes
real
it's
life.
just like, yeah.
It might go through your teammate, but they're both going down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Especially with a fucking sniper rifle. It's going to go through for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
55 cal. But your teammate might have a hole this big on their chest. The good thing is you'll be able to see through it.
Well, the exit wound, yes. The entry, you probably couldn't. You probably wouldn't be able to tell from a distance. But that exit wound, yeah.
All right. Hey, we just added 10 more minutes. Cool.
Woo-hoo.
Good job, guys. All right. So if you guys don't have anything else, I think that we have reached the end of the episode. In conclusion, hope for the best, expect the worst with Daredevil. Hopefully it's a lot more action-packed than the first one. Although the action in the first one was still good, it just felt like we needed more. But with that being said, thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you you'll see them next week. I won't be here next week. I'm just letting you guys know from now, like right now.
Yeah. Now, there's one other thing that we forgot.
What is it?
Well, you guys can click all the things that you can.
Yeah, I was
definitely click all the things down in the description below. And if you don't,
guess what? You are cursed.
This is like cursed or kissed?
Cursed.
It depends on what you want.
Because if it's coming from you, Justin, either one's fine.
Yeah, I know how you are.
I know
I'm telling you, that shirt with those shoes.
I'd be checking your fit.
Yeah. That was that little soundbite was from Danhausen for the wrestling fans out there. He's been getting a lot of traction recently. Super fucking funny. Look him up if you don't know who I'm talking about.
He sounds like fun.
Oh yes.
Sounds like a cartoon character.
Mm-hmm.
All right. See you next week. Deuces.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Blah.
Blah.